Hi, I am going to get a little adventurous and try Monk's Cafe Flemish Sour Ale. And so this is brewed in Belgium, but for Monk's Cafe, which I've heard is in Philadelphia. So this comes in at 5.5% alcohol by volume, and is in the Flanders Red Ale category, which is part of the sour ale group. So that's BJCP 17B. So I'm a little nervous. I've had a couple sours in the past to try. I haven't been able to convince myself to actually drink a whole pint of it, or a whole 11.2 ounces, as the case may be. So we'll give it a shot. I'm relatively certain that this is in the Flanders Sour Ale category, even though it's called a Flemish Sour. I did do a little bit of research on it on Beer Advocate, and it came up, and they have it categorized as that. And it actually says on the back that it's a Flemish Sour Red Ale. It's just not as red as you might expect. So aroma. Definitely has some fruity kind of tannins almost to it. It smells a lot like a red wine. A little bit of sour, acidity, acidic kind of a smell to it. Interestingly, there's a lot of like maltiness to it, which I wasn't exactly expecting. So a very complex beer. As far as appearance goes, it poured with a little bit of head. As you can see, it's retaining it pretty well. As a Belgian, I'm expecting that it's probably going to do some lacing as I drink it. And appearance-wise, you can't see from your direction, but it is red, but a deep red, deep amber, almost brown color. So into flavor. Okay, actually, this is a lot better than I was expecting. I was expecting that I would make a funny face and be done with the video. But it's fruity. Like, kind of like plums or black cherry, like sour cherry, I think. I don't have any of the spiciness that is common in Belgium. Um, there's a deep maltiness to it, so it still has the malty kind of roasty characteristic of a beer, um, but it's on top of or down below, under like a very crisp finish. It's almost like a combination, like where cider meets beer. So it's very interesting in that respect. Um, I definitely get a lot of acidity out of it, and tannin quality. Like I said, when I was smelling it, it smells like a red wine. Um, but it's actually pretty drinkable. The last time I tried a sour, I felt like I was drinking a jar of pickle juice, and this is not like that. Thank goodness. So, mouthfeel. It's a medium body. It doesn't have a lot of body on its own, but it's like a very prickly um, carbonation to it, so it's nice and crisp and pretty refreshing. This would actually be a good drink on a hot summer day. So, a little bit of history about this particular style of beer. Um, it's an indigenous beer of the West Flanders, typified by the products of the Rodenbach Brewery established in 1820 in West Flanders, but reflective of earlier brewing traditions. The beer is aged for up to 2 years, often in huge oaken barrels, which contain the resonant bacteria necessary to sour the beer. It was once common in Belgium and England to blend old beer with young to balance the sourness and acidity found in aged beer. While blending of batches for consistency is now common among larger brewers, this type of blending is a fading art. Um, so additional comments. Um, Long aging and blending of young and well-aged beers often occurs. Adding the smoothness and complexity through aged products is sometimes released as a connoisseur's beer. Known as the Burgundy of Belgium, it is more wine-like than any other beer style. The reddish color is the product of the malt, although an extended, less than rolling portion of the boil may help it add the attractive burgundy hue. Aging will also darken the beer. The Flanders Red is more acidic and fruity flavors, more reminiscent of a red wine than an Oud Bruin. Can have an apparent attenuation of up to 98%. Um, there's another style in this same category, that's 17C. It's the Flanders Brown Ale or the Oud Bruin, that category referenced. And so it can have a little bit higher alcohol content, and so it's a different category. I'll make a video on that specifically when I find a beer in that category. But overall, pretty drinkable. Now I kind of understand why people are getting so excited about sours. It's definitely a unique flavor, and actually pretty attractive. I mean, as a matter of fact, if you're looking for a beer that you don't really like the beer flavor, but you want to drink beer for whatever reason, if you like wine coolers, this is kind of in that category. And as a matter of fact, they even said themselves that it's closer to a wine than a beer in a lot of respects. And so I feel like the aging process in oak probably calms that down a little bit, and really mellows it out, so you kind of get a really complex, deep flavor, reminiscent to like a port, but not as thick or alcoholic kind of burn to it. So overall, pretty impressive beer. I think it nails the category absolutely, and makes me less of a skeptic. So in the future, when I see a sour, I'll probably taste it, though I don't know that I'll buy entire pints on their own necessarily. I would pair this with crackers and goat cheese. That would be really good if you've ever had like cranberries over a goat cheese or cranberries over a baked brie. That would be spectacular with this beer. Just because I'm thinking forward to this kind of thing, this would be really great at a holiday party where you're serving a lot of fruited cheeses like that. Just an aside thought that I had. All right, so Monk's Cafe Flemish Sour Ale. Not as bad as I was expecting. So thank you so much for watching. Share with me down below if this is something that you've tried below. If you like this style of beer, I'm curious to know because sours are really big right now. And if you have any that you'd like to recommend that I give a shot, I would love to try some new ones. So thank you so much for watching and have a good night.